Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time viewing the channel, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so we can get notifications out there to you guys when the latest content drops. So today's video is going to be over a highly controversial rifle in the firearms community, and that is the SCAR 16S, aka the UGG boot from the famous ugly looking stock here. It is a rifle chambered in 5.56 NATO. It is a chrome line hammer forged barrel, a short stroke gas piston system. It is a highly reliable rifle. This video is basically going to be a quick overview of the rifle itself, things I like about it, what I don't like about it, things that I would change, not change, little maybe pet peeves about the rifle. I don't have very many rounds through it, just enough to make a decent judgment call on the rifle itself. Obviously, I added a few tasteful touches to the rifle myself for my own well-being, but we'll go from the UGG boot, because that's basically what it is, aka stock, all the way up to the muzzle, and we'll give you a quick overview of it, and like I said, some positives and negatives about it, and maybe touch up on the price point a little bit. Is it worth it, not worth it, etc. So we'll start out with the famous SCAR stock. If you've ever played any kind of video game out there that had a SCAR in it, the first thing you're going to notice on the menu is obviously the really ugly UGG boot looking style stock. Now, if you don't know what UGG boot is, Google UGG boot. Once you see it and you look at the SCAR stock, you will never unsee it. It'll be burned in your brain forever. It's kind of the abomination in the rifle stock world, but that's, once you shoot it and you put a couple couple rounds down range, that'll go away quickly, I promise you. But it is a very comfortable stock to shoot. It absorbs recoil quite well. There is a couple things I like about it and don't like about it. Like I said, one of the things that I do like about it is that it absorbs recoil very well. It's very comfortable. It's more of like a convex shape stock, so it kind of curves into your shoulder a little bit, and it's very comfortable. Obviously, some of the things that I don't like about it is that it looks like an UGG boot, is what it is. And I'm going to flip it over real quick, and I'm going to show you guys that it is a, one second. It is a fully adjustable stock, meaning it has 6 positions. You can go out and in, and I will show you real quick. Fully extended, obviously it has the position indicator on the stock right there, and obviously it can go all the way in. I haven't really used it in the extended position because, as you know, with the RCO up here made by Trijicon, the eye relief is kind of shitty, but so I keep it in the most forward position. But it is a comfortable stock to shoot. It also has a adjustable cheek riser on here, which is really cool, and all you gotta do is press that in, pull up. So if you have an optic that kind of sits a little bit up there, this will assist you quite well. And to push that back down, you just press that back in and push it in. Now, this is a folding stock. This is one of the first things that did bother me about the SCAR when I was messing with it at the gun store. By the way, I did pick this up from my local PSA about a month ago. I have no affiliation with them or FN. That's just, we'll go ahead and get that out of the way so you guys know. But anyways, this stock, this is one of the first things right here that bothered me about this firearm when I was handling it at the gun store. Was it? Yes, it does fold, and it's kind of stiff though, and it does fold all the way, kind of like a paratrooper style folding stock. And I guess that's why the U.S. military, when they were, coming out with a new rifle or contracting out a new rifle design, the stock had to fold for whatever reason, probably for obviously the airborne, paratroopers, whatever. The first thing that bothered me was this right here. Okay, that really bothers me. Normally on any other folding stock, usually that clicks right into place. Now, maybe it's just the rifle's too new and it hasn't been broken yet, enough yet, sorry. But you have to actually press this in pretty good to get the stock back in. That really bothers me because I'm used to flipping that stock out, clicking into place, and I'm ready to rock and roll, and I'm ready to, put some rounds downrange. So that is definitely one of the first things that bothers me about the SCAR 16. Not really a deal breaker by any means, but you know, if FN could have fixed that, they could have and should have, and that would have been a lot better. But moving on to the pistol grip here. The pistol grip is a A2 style, a basic AR style pistol grip. It can be interchanged with any manufacturer that makes pistol grips for the AR style rifle. As you know, if you change out one of those, it's very, very easily. I didn't change this one out because it's very ergonomic, very grippy, and I like it. It's not too bad. And you got a good grip pad right here on both sides. And then moving up here to the second thing that it wasn't really a huge deal, but it kind of bothered me just a smidge. But that is the safety. Obviously, the safety is a 2-position fire and safe. I know, no fun switch. It is what it is. But the safety is a little shorter than what I wanted it to be, and a little bit, it kind of sticks out a little bit, so it doesn't dig into my thumb like my CZ Scorpion does, thank God. But it does stick out a little bit than what I like it to be, and it's not as easy to flick as on an AR. So 2-position, like I said. The trigger is it's a stock trigger from FN, obviously. It's surprisingly good. This might be one of the things that really surprised me about this rifle. Obviously, it's not a match trigger by any means, but I will show you what I mean. I am going to go ahead and release the magazine. I'm going to pull the charging handle back. Obviously, the firearm's unloaded, and I'm going to go ahead and squeeze that trigger. Surprisingly very smooth. It's not a heavy trigger at all. It's not the smoothest, not the lightest on the market, but I would say definitely one of the lightest for a a stock out of the box rifle. But you are getting a pretty quality piece here once you purchase this firearm. Obviously, you can get a lighter trigger for this gun. There's multiple different companies out there that make triggers for this firearm. I know the one that I'm going to be adding to it is the Giselle Super Scar trigger, and it's like crazy smooth from what I hear and from the reviews I watch. So if you have a Scar, go check out their triggers. Go to Giselle and see what it's all about. Let's move on to the magazine release here. Obviously, this is non-ambidextrous, just like an AR. You can only put it on one side. As you can see, it's kind of fixed into the lower receiver here. Obviously, you can remove your magazine, put it back in, and it is a oh, wow. Actually, you know what? Insert foot in mouth. Yes, it is. It is ambidextrous. I do apologize for that. I actually never noticed that. So yes, it is a fully ambidextrous magazine release. That's really cool. I actually didn't notice that. Maybe it's just because I'm used to an AR. So it is fully ambidextrous, and from what I've read about, this firearm has actually got quite a few things about it that you can interchange as far as being ambidextrous. Things like, well, you got your magazine release. It's ambidextrous on both sides. Your safety is ambidextrous, obviously. Now, okay, that's what I got confused. Your bolt release is only on this side. I'm sorry. So your bolt release is only on this side, like a traditional AR. Your magazine release is on both the left and right hand side of the rifle. Moving up to the brass deflector. This is one of the beefiest, thickest brass deflectors I've ever seen in my life on a rifle. It's pretty beefy, and let me tell you, it flings the brass pretty good. Moving up to the upper receiver area a little bit, you have a QD, or not a QD mount, but a sling attach point. You can, I think you can swap that out, or not swap it out, but attach another sling mount if you wish. Something, because this is more like the HK style clip sling. You know, you kind of clip on it and go. But if you don't want it to do that, you can change it out. I believe Parker Mountain Machine Group makes a pretty good, decent amount of attachments for this thing as far as sling attachments go. The Scar 16 is going to come up with a rear and front flip up, fully adjustable sights. They're pretty high quality sights. I did use them before I threw this ACOG on there. They're pretty accurate. They're right on target, and they're pretty good. Not the best for iron sights on the market like your M1A or other platforms like that, but they are pretty high quality sights, and I like them. But as you can see, instead of using the iron sights, I went ahead and flipped them down, and I added a Trijicon ACOG TA31 RCO with a BEC reticle 4556. Those of you know that Trijicon makes very robust and very, very reliable optics. And this is an excellent optic. These things can take a licking and keep on ticking. Let me tell you, I've seen it personally. They're good optics, so I went ahead and threw one of those on there. And moving up to the, this is another interesting feature. Obviously, the firearm has a full top Picatinny rail. It has another rail inside. It's got rails on both sides. Sorry, rail on the bottom. The interesting thing about this firearm is that it breaks down in such a unique way. Obviously, I'm not going to break it down for you because I don't have my tools, but this firearm breaks down in such a unique way that if you do have an Allen key that you can shove up in your pistol grip and put some tape over there if you're out in the field or whatever, it breaks down in such a unique way that this whole firearm comes apart so smoothly. But I would definitely say the most negative thing about breaking down the firearm, like entirely, I meant like everything, is these stupid side Picatinny rails. Holy shit, these things are such a pain in the ass to remove. There's like little rail detents, like springs if you will, that are kind of like holding this thing into place in a way that if you go to take that rail off, that piece is going to fall down into the handguard assembly, and to get that out of there, you basically have to disassemble the whole front of the rifle to include remove the barrel to get that rail back on there. So if you do decide to change that out, or if you're trying to add another piece of equipment on there, be mindful that you don't want to unscrew that screw to get that out of there, because you're going to lose that back nut plate, if you will, and it's going to fall down in there in the handguard assembly, and you're going to be screwed. That's it. So you're going to have to take apart this whole thing just to get that out of there. But another thing, going kind of backtracking a little bit, the obviously you got your magazine release here. Your magazines, it comes standard with a FN magazine, standard AR style magazine, if you will. One thing, I did a little bit of research on these scars are not a fan of PMags. There's like a little lip up here that PMag Magpul makes that kind of like, I guess it messes with the upper receiver a little bit, and when the bolt's cycling back and forth, it kind of interferes with that a little bit, and it can cause damage to the PMag and possibly even damage to your firearm itself, the scar itself. So if you do get the scar, just keep that in mind. I mean, I don't know if that's really going to be a deal breaker for you guys. It wasn't really for me, because I actually prefer metal mags myself. I like them, but I run metal mags with all my guns just about. But just keep that in mind, that if you do buy one of these, it's highly preferable that you do stick with a classic GI metal magazine. So the barrel assembly comes off pretty easily, and it's really cool. There is 4 star bit screws, 2 on this side right here, and they come out and you screw them out, and then 2 on the other side. Obviously, once you remove your handguard assembly and disassemble everything else, to get your barrel assembly out is not hard at all. You don't need an armor's wrench or anything crazy like that. You just undo your 4 star bit screws, and the barrel will actually just slide straight out, and it's pretty convenient. It's pretty nice, and I like it. Like I said, you got that pretty beefy brass deflector. You got that lower and side Picatinny rails, as well as that long top Picatinny rail. I did go ahead and add a BCM foregrip on here. It's pretty nice. I didn't really want one of those longer foregrips, or even a Magpul one that was a little bit shorter, and this kind of looked awkward. So I did go ahead and get with a BCM foregrip. And then as far as a weapon light mounted option, I went ahead and went with the Surefire Scout Light. This is a dual fuel, if you will, so it runs off of either 2 standard Surefire batteries or 1 really long rechargeable one, which I didn't even know when I ordered this thing, but it did come with a long battery, just about the length of the tube here, that all you have to do is plug it into a USB-C charger, and it charges right up. It's pretty cool. So I went ahead and ordered this, and I got the Surefire touchpad for light. As you can see, all you gotta do is kind of put your hand right there, or you can click it on and off. When you get the light, you are going to get a standard push button manual by hand push button tail cap on here. You need to get the one that's suited for this pressure pad. Different companies sell them, but I just went to Surefire themselves just to make sure I wasn't going to get like a fake or anything like that. But you do have this chrome line hammer forged 16-inch barrel with that nice beefy muzzle device on the end right there, flash hider if you will. This is a very good barrel, very accurate. It's performed decently well for the amount of rounds that I've put down range to it. It's respectively accurate as well, especially for 5.56. But we'll go ahead and flip the firearm over and get you a look at the other side. And this is the other side of the firearm. A couple differences from the other side, obviously, especially being that magazine or the bolt release here is only going to be on this side. Not really a deal breaker for me, obviously, especially being for an AR style rifle. Most people are used to that bolt release being on the left hand side of the firearm. And like I said, I added that Trijicon ACOG up there. I know I don't have a LaRue Tactical QD mount up there, but perhaps in the future. I've been pretty lazy and haven't ordered one yet. So the stock mount that it comes with from Trijicon is not too bad. So okay, now off to the biggest part, and I would other people would arguably agree the most highly controversial part about this firearm, and that is the reciprocating charging handle. Now, those of you who don't know what a reciprocating charging handle is, that means once you load the weapon, you send the bullet home, there's a round in the chamber, and you go to fire the weapon. This charging handle is actually going to reciprocate, meaning it's going to come back, cycle that round, and go back forward each time you pull that trigger. And that's highly controversial for multiple reasons. One being that if you like that C grip, like a lot of you tactical guys out there like, you're going to get what they call scar bite, which means if you put your thumb right there and that charging handle reciprocates and it comes back, it's going to bite you, and it will cause a feeding issue, any kind of issue with the rifle itself. That's a huge problem for some people, and that might even be a deal breaker for some people, but for me it wasn't. I don't put my hand up there, but just full disclosure that this does have a reciprocating charging handle. And this charging handle itself it is ambidextrous. You can swap that out on both sides. Obviously you have to disassemble the rifle to do that, but it's very, very easily. So if you're left-handed, if you're right-handed, switch it to whatever side you prefer. And another reason why this might be highly controversial is if you're running and gunning and you got a full loadout on, full kit, whatever, this possibly could get snagged on tree branches, dirt. If you're laying down in the prone position and you're up against something and that the object slaps your charging handle, could cause a malfunction. Just be aware of that. It is moving. There's a lot of moving parts in there. But like I said, that wasn't necessarily a deal breaker for me. I kind of knew that going into looking at this firearm and buying it. So just keep that in mind. And I forgot to mention that I did go with Surefire's offset mount, if you will. Not really pertaining to the rifle at all, but if you're looking to offset your flashlight a bit, your weapon mounted light, that would be a good option. Go on Surefire's website, check them out. They do have it. It's pretty good. Like I said, you got multiple different sling attachment points right here. You got an upper and a lower, and you got a forward position. I did order the Parker Mountain Machine Group forward sling attachment, if you will, but I haven't really figured out where to assemble it yet. I have to contact them and figure out where they actually designed it to go on for the SCAR 16S. So there's that. And obviously you got your barrel, chambered in 5.56. Overall though, let's talk price. So this firearm is decently expensive. It'll come about $3,200, anywhere from $2,800 to $3,200, maybe even a little bit more due to the market currently. Is it worth it? I can't really say yes or no, because when you're getting into this kind of quality rifle and this kind of tier rifle, price kind of goes out the window, and it really shouldn't matter. So if you have to ask yourself, am I willing to spend $3,200 on a rifle? The answer is you probably shouldn't get the rifle. My golden rule is if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. No, that's not a snobby thing, I promise you. It's just when you get into this kind of tier rifle, this kind of quality you get, the price point kind of goes out the window, and you really get what you pay for in terms of firearm quality as well as optics. Some people don't want to spend, $900, $1,500 on an optic, but you know, you got to get the good stuff for your rifle, and you got to get a good rifle. So as far as reliability goes, this thing it didn't skip a beat for the amount of rounds that I have through it. It's cycled every time. It shoots like a dream. You know, it feels like a cloud's hitting my shoulder. There's no recoil whatsoever. It doesn't throw gas in your face like any other other firearms will. Overall, I do like it, and this is my new replacement for my previous firearm, my previous AR that I had. So I switched from an AR over to this, and I might do a review on 10,000 rounds once I get to the 10,000 round mark, and I'll give you a full honest opinion on it. But as of right now, it's a pretty good rifle for the money. As I said before, I am a collector. I am not like a, you know, going out and going on missions with this thing or anything crazy like that. That's not my daily job. Other people that have that daily job might give you a different opinion on the SCAR. I'm just giving you my own opinion on it and a quick overview of the rifle. So that's it, guys. You have the FN SCAR 16S chambered in 5.56 NATO. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully that maybe either persuaded you to get this or maybe persuaded you not to get this. Whatever you decide, this is America. You can do whatever the heck you want. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as I said before, if it's your first time visiting the channel, please go and hit that like and subscribe button. It's your biggest way to support my channel. And if you have any questions about this firearm, as far as maybe further into the price, where I got the attachments, etc., please go and hit that go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. I will do my best to get back with you, and hopefully we can get you guys another video. I think I'm going to do a review on my CZ Scorpion Evo next, so hopefully you guys will be excited for that, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. All right.